Hey, welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time, welcome to my channel. So of course this video is going to be a little different because, as you can tell from the title, I'm pregnant. So I actually did this video a few different times, and every time I was super out of breath, or like my face just looked, and it still might look like this today, but I was like, this is the one I'm posting because I don't want to just be like, ooh, got a new baby. So I don't know, like I have moments of where I just look tired because this process makes you tired. So today I just wanted to talk on all things pregnancy, just different things that are happening. I have some notes here. I know everybody says that, but the notes are important because pregnancy brain hits immediately. I honestly feel like it hits before you actually know that you're pregnant. And even in saying that, I meant to say before I even went into the video, I kind of half made my bed, but this pregnancy pillow, it kind of gets in the way of you making your bed, but also it, like, part of it is right here supporting my back. So if my bed looks crazy, just ignore that part. But so yes, back to pregnancy brain. It is real. I don't know who says that it's not, but it definitely is. It's a thing that happens where you forget stuff. You can forget what you're talking about. You can forget where you're going. Like, just as an average person, sometimes you'll walk like downstairs and try to go into a room and you're like, man, what did I come down here for? Imagine that for everything. Thoughts, words, just everything. So that is something that I'm definitely dealing with. So that is why I have my notes. Now I'm currently 20 weeks. So yes, it's been a while. I have been extremely sick, and so I'll start off with I guess I should start off with how I found out I was pregnant. So let's rewind, backtrack. So we went to Alabama, where my parents and like a lot of my family lives, for Christmas, and we were there, we were kicking it, we were having a really good time. Like, it was a really, really fun visit. But about halfway through, I started feeling just odd, just off. Like, I couldn't really explain what it was. I just, felt off. And I was really, really tired. But I mean, I get tired here and there anyway. So I didn't think anything of it. She had gotten sick. Then my husband had gotten sick. My daughter had gotten sick. And was my dad sick? No, because I think it was like me, my dad, and my brother that weren't sick. And then like a week prior, my nieces were sick, and then my sister was sick. So I was thinking like, okay, so maybe this is like a little bug, or it could be. I know that my nieces and my sister didn't have COVID because they got tested, but for the other ones, I was like, oh, maybe this is COVID. Like, let me, keep a little distance. And so the day before we left to come back to Ohio, I was like, ooh, do I have what they had? But the symptoms that they were having, I didn't have any. However, I was still just like, ooh, I don't feel good. Like, I just feel bad. Like, I feel a little bit of nausea, but that wasn't like the driving force. Like, I just felt off. So when we got home, the feeling was just gradually increasing. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, after the 2 years of me being COVID free, I know I have COVID. And in my mind, like, I didn't want to say it out loud because it's like, there's power in the tongue. So I didn't want to say it. But I was like, man, like, I feel like I need to go get a test. And so I was just kind of waiting it out, trying to see what was going to happen. And I was like, no, I need to go get a test. And then something dawned on me, and I don't know if it was something that my husband said, because it could have been him, because he's pretty like in tune with this kind of thing too. Like, well, maybe you need to go get a test. So I think something had dawned on me, and I hadn't started. So I was like, I don't feel well, and my period isn't here. let's just go get a test just because. I don't really think that I'm pregnant. I really truly think that I'm sick and I probably have COVID, but let me just go ahead and get a test just to, cross that off. Went and got a test, came back. Literally with my daughter, when I got pregnant with her, I had to wait the 3 minutes to figure out like that the test said positive. With this, I feel like I wasn't even like, you have to, everything is going to be TMI with this because pregnancy, you have to pee on the stick. In between me peeing on the stick, putting the cap on and putting it on the thing, I already saw the 2 lines and I was like, excuse me. So we went to the store. I don't know why we do this. I feel like as pregnant, when you're trying to figure out if you're pregnant, you don't ever believe the first one. It's just like, oh, that one could have been faulty. Let me go ahead and get some more. So got a few more, pregnant. And so that's how we ended up finding out that we were pregnant. So then, and I don't know what it is about finding out that you're pregnant and then the next day, all the symptoms hitting you at one time. Like, I really wonder if you didn't find out that you were pregnant, like what would happen? Do those symptoms just come because you mentally know, or like, are they already gearing up to be like, here we come, here we come? I don't know. But the next day, nauseous. And when I say nauseous, it's not the type of nauseous that's just like, ooh, my stomach, ooh, I'm a little nauseous. It's not that. It's like, and if my mom is watching this or my pappy, sorry. But it's like that when you have drank way too much. And the next morning when you get up and your stomach is like sloshy and all that's going to help is if you throw up, like that's literally, you can't think about food. You don't want to drink water. You don't want to do anything. Like it literally feels like just super nauseous and it just feels like goo is in your stomach and you got to get it out. That's what I was feeling. That lasted probably, because I remember going to the doctor and being like, hey, I know people said, by 8 weeks, this is supposed to be gone. Mine isn't gone. And they were like, oh no, probably about 13, it'll be gone. I waited till, oh no, I think they said about 12 weeks it'd be gone. I waited till 13. It still wasn't gone. It probably left maybe at like week 15, 16. And it was not great. It was a task. And with my first child, and she's 4, but I still remember like I barely had symptoms. Like the only thing I had was aversions. Like I did not want to eat chicken. I did not want to eat steak, but I loved everything sweet. Like anything sweet, give it to me. I'm here for it. But meat in particular, I couldn't really do. Like I pretty much had to stay away from. But that was it. Like I didn't get nauseous. I wasn't cramping. I didn't have like there was no feeling until like, when you get to that 3rd trimester, all bets are off. Like anything can happen. But as far as like up until that point, it was almost like I would forget that I was pregnant. And so I would look down or until I could start feeling her move around and kick in there. That pregnancy was completely different than this one. This one, sick all the time. I can't see stuff. Like even now, I still can't really see like raw chicken. It will make me gag. There's certain things I can't think about or even say like food related, or it'll start to like, when you start getting this, like your mouth starts getting real wet because you about to gag or throw up. That's what I feel when I think about or even say certain foods. And it is pretty crazy. But this go around, I can eat chicken. So I could eat chicken with her too, but I just couldn't see it being cooked. I could not eat any like red meat. Red meat was out for me with her. This time, give me a good steak. Please. Like I'm loving steak. I really I enjoy a good hamburger if it's done the right way, but I still can't see any raw meat. I don't want to see anything being cooked So that's hindered me from being able to cook, because it's like I would just be in the kitchen gagging the entire time, which nobody wants. No, you don't want to be gagging while you're cooking like that. That's no fun. So those have been my symptoms. And the pelvic pain and the round ligament pain started super early. With her, I think it didn't start until around maybe 22, 24 weeks. I started maybe feeling like a little bit of pelvic pain. Off and on, I would have like round ligament pains, but it wouldn't be terrible. It would be like, here it is. All right, I'm gone. This time, I have pelvic pain all the time. Like, I think that my pelvic bone at this time is broken, probably, because it's just getting out of bed, getting in bed, getting on the couch, getting off the couch, getting in the car, out the car, walking, standing, going from sitting to stand. Any type of movement that involves me rotating my hips a little bit, or like the joints in my legs moving, pain. And I talked to the doctors about it, and they're like, it's your second child. You know, that's just what happens. And I'm like, y'all don't have no fix. Like, what am I supposed to do? The round ligament pains are more consistent. Now, I did have Braxton Hicks kind of early with her. So I started having them around when I found out she was a girl. So I think probably around like 22 weeks ish. This time I started having them a little earlier, and it was at, I think, 18 weeks. I started having some Braxton Hicks, which are not all that fun. And this time they're actually lasting a little longer. So before it was just like maybe 10, 15 minutes with my daughter. This time they're lasting like 40, 45 minutes. So that's a little different. So my daughter came in here, and I don't really remember what I was talking about. But I do know that I hinted about pregnancy brain earlier, and that's part of it right there. So I truly don't remember what I was saying. But one thing that I also want to hit on is when you are pregnant, or if you find out that you're pregnant and you already have pre-existing, not necessarily diseases, but you have like pre-existing things that are happening with you, make sure to get those checked out, because I had hypothyroidism before I even got pregnant. So when I got pregnant, they had to up my dosage. But then after I got pregnant, or after I had her, they were basically like, it's kind of balancing itself out. So we'll kind of see how it goes. So I had been off of my thyroid medicine for probably about 2.5, maybe 3 years. But when I got pregnant this time, I started noticing a lot of things. Like, I had heart palpitations. I was really, really tired. I would start feeling lightheaded all the time. My hair was like thinning out, and this is like a little piece, so don't judge it by this, because you too could have this as well. It was just different things that were happening to where I was like, something feels still off, like even with me taking the prenatals. And so I asked them, when they had to take my blood the first time, I asked them like, can you guys look at my thyroid? And sure enough, it was bad. So I started getting on that medicine. However, I truly don't think that they would have checked it if I didn't say anything. So that's why I say, if you have something that was going on, even if it's not bothering you at this point, still get it checked out, because a lot of different things can happen when you're pregnant, and you never know when it's going to hit you, how it's going to hit you. And it's super important to make sure that you try to deal with it as quickly as you can. And it's really going to be up to you, because even you could have the most caring and efficient doctor, but they're still seeing people back to back to back to back to back. And if it's not something that's standing out like in your chart, then they're probably not going to hit on it. So make sure that you are paying attention to your body, your feelings, everything. So this go around earlier, I did not want anything sweet. I wanted everything that was salty. I wanted chips. I wanted crackers. I wanted, mainly chips, like those. So I'm not really a Ruffles girl. I'm more of like a regular Lay's, like original girl. But something about those Ruffle chips, I feel like got me through my first 12 weeks, 12 to 13 weeks. And then I started gradually going over to like saltine crackers and oyster crackers because I didn't want anything sweet. But now I have like a good balance of both. Like I really still enjoy fruit. I love vegetables. I love a good salad. I love candy. I'm still eating candy. It's a problem at this point, but it's fine. Those are some of the differences. And I am about to find out what I'm having. So I kind of want to do a prediction. So with my daughter, I knew that I was having a boy. I knew it without a shadow of a doubt because her heart rate was consistently at 150 every single time from the first day that we went in for the ultrasound, which they say that one can be like either elevated or lower just depending on like how far you are into your pregnancy. It was 150 every single doctor visit. After that, her heart rate was at 150 until I delivered her. Like when I got to the hospital like for delivery and I was having contractions, that's when her heart rate started, you know, going like up and down. But other than that, she stayed at 150 and I was like, ooh, they stay 150 and lower. It's a boy, so that's it. And then I wasn't sick. And typically people say like if you're not too sick, then more than likely you're having a boy. And so I was like, I'm feeling great. This is a boy. And I can't, there was like some other things that were going on and it was just like, oh, if your belly is low, you're having a boy. So I was like, you know, I think it's sitting a little low. You know, if I can find a picture, I'll try to insert it here. But I thought that my stomach was a little low. So I was like, I just think that this is about to be a little boy. And sure enough, when we did our gender reveal, she was a girl. So I was shocked by that. So this go around, I think that it's a boy, but because there's so many things that are different, I'm gonna go ahead and say I think it's gonna be a girl, just because I was wrong last time. And one of my friends are pregnant right now and we're literally like, she's further along than I am. I think she's like 4 weeks ahead of me. So everything that like she is doing, me coming up, I'm doing like the exact same thing. Like we're kind of on the similar path. It's another reason why I kind of think that it's gonna be girl, but mainly because the first time I just knew that I was having a boy. So pretty sure it's gonna be a girl too, which I'm okay with. Like I think that I already know what to do with a girl, so it's all right. But I don't want to keep saying girl if it's really a boy. So I don't know, but we will find out very shortly, like soon, like just take my word for it, soon. So I think that's all. I'm going to show my bump because I love watching when the moms to be show their little bumps. So I'm going to show where mine is, and I have a microphone on, so hopefully it's not too loud. So here is my bump, and y'all can tell me if you think it's low or high. I'm pretty sure this is where she was, and then I'll show you what it looks like bare. This is my bump. But yes, I plan on doing more updates now that I have more energy and now that I feel better. I feel like I can do more updates. Before, even like I said, doing this video was out of the question. Like I was getting sick during the videos. It was a lot that was going on. But now I'm gonna try to stay, you know, up on everything because I love watching these type of videos. Like if you look at my YouTube history, it's between all of these type of videos and labor and delivery videos. Like, love them. Especially during this time now, like, can't get enough. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below. Especially if you're pregnant, let me know because we're pregnant together. But that's all for me today. So I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.